Was Tiffany Hawkins telling the truth? That's what people wanted to know. And they asking me over and over again. Was Tiffany Hawkins telling the truth? Was Tiffany Hawkins telling the truth? You gotta find out info, Sino. Now, this is one story I've heard a lot during my entire life. And there's a very good reason for that. I was around. And the reason why I said I was around, meaning that I was around Tiffany at the time. Tiffany Hawkins lived on my block. Tiffany Hawkins lived on my block. We all from Grove Heights. She lived about 7 to 8 houses away from me on the same block. And I knew her sister, her mom, her stepdad. I knew it all during that time. Now, let's take a look at what people really want to ask the question about. You guys saw some special that they did on one of those VH1 shows, and you wanted to ask me, yes, Gavin Williams, that is correct. She was the first one that we know of. Now, let's all not get that twisted. She was the first one that we knew of. Now, I don't like to dwell into this realm because to me it's just not something I want to go down. But I've seen a lot of people post a lot of fake news around this subject, so when I see a lot of people doing fake news, I had to get around it. Now, a lot of you might say, well, what's the fake news, I mean, there's some people who are actually coming out making like lying videos and coming up with all these goofy lies that was not true and spreading them all over YouTube about her because she came out against R. Kelly and somebody said this about her, this person said that about her. And I said, whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's go over what the person actually said. Okay? Tiffany actually said that she was the first one that she knew of, right? She was a singer. She said she always knew she wanted to sing. It was an outlet for her. Okay, that's what she said on the show. She also said that she had problems with her, that her mom's boyfriend was physically abusive. Now, me living on the same block, I knew her stepfather, Levi. Levi was, he ain't play no games. I don't know about being abusive, But Levi didn't play no games. Period. So he'll put a foot in his butt. So she met R. Kelly during her sophomore year with a friend. The two was on a bus or something. They spotted his car and ran out and talked to him. That's different from the story I've heard. The story I've heard is that her mom worked at the same place as R. Kelly. They worked at the same studio, and she took her daughter there, and she met him that way, and that's how it happened. That's what I heard. Now she believe her version more than mine, because she was actually there. As I told you, I knew Tiffany. She had the jerry curl in the hair then. She used to wear jogging suits. She was like a tomboy. She was like one of us. And she was 14, 15. And I remember her telling me R. Kelly was coming to pick her up in a limo. Yep. And she said, like, R. Kelly's coming to pick me up in a limo. And I kind of didn't believe her, but because she had told other people, I guess, that they didn't believe her. And I just listened to her. And when she came out to talk, and she was like, yeah, I'm working on this song. And I told you, she had music. And she was playing some of the songs. She's like, yeah, this is the tape I'm working on. It's my song. Yeah, I'm finna record. And he finna put out an album. And then my album's coming out right after his. So she was excited, and I'm just like, okay, all right, I'm listening, but I kind of don't believe this. This girl is like 14, 15 years old. So I'm sitting there and I'm on my porch, and sure enough, she go to the crib, and it was just me and her talking at that time. And right as rain, she said R. Kelly was gonna send a limo. I don't know if R. Kelly sent that limo or not, but I know she got in a limo, and she was 14, 15 years old. A limo did come late that night, pull up on the corner, and she got in it. And I said, she was telling the truth. She was telling the truth. She got in that limo. Now, I don't know what else to tell you, but besides that, but I did see that with my own eyes. I'm like, she was telling the truth. Now, everything else is what we heard through the neighborhood. Oh no. I know plenty of R. Kelly stuff. The people who probably was producing this, they called me to try to use some of my interviews, and want me to sit there and be on this show and doing stuff like this. They wanted me for that. They had the lawyer call me up and was like, hey, we doing this show. It was called whatever. We doing a documentary. You seem to know a lot. We want to bring you in. I'm like, man, I ain't doing all that. I ain't finna get involved in this. I tell you, the songs that Tiffany was playing for me, the same songs was on Aaliyah tape. That Age Ain't Nothing But a Number song, I swear to God, Tiffany had something very similar, if not the same song, with Tiffany Hawkins. And he gave all those songs to Aaliyah. Yeah, they called me months ago. This was after the Surviving thing was out. When Surviving thing was already out. After the first thing was out with R. Kelly, and they was coming down on him, and they called me up, and they was interested in the Foxy Brown Jay-Z video. They were really asking questions and prying into that. And I'm like, why they keep asking me about that? And then they asking me about R. Kelly, though. And I'm like, why are you asking me about R. Kelly? Then you bringing up Foxy Brown, and you going on two different things, dude. You making me think you're not real. And he was an investigative detective trying to find me for this. I'm like, oh no, dude, you gotta talk to my lawyer. I ain't talking to you no more. So I'm like, I don't trust nothing you saying, homie. Now you gotta talk to my lawyer. Now, if they said we got 1.5 million for you, I've been sitting in that chair. He was an animal. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have did it for no money. But we know too many people, man. We know too many people that I've known who have had encounters with him that went weirdly. So let's just say that. His behavior, yeah, I mean everybody know about his behavior. It's not a big thing. But was Tiffany telling the truth? I believe her 100%. Cuz I know what I seen and I said, "Okay, this is what I seen." What I'm shocked about is that she actually did it because she had a NDA she signed that she couldn't even talk about all this. That I do know. And I do know that R. Kelly settled with her and paid her out of court. They settled out of court. So that's the truth. And no, Tiffany did not have no baby when she met R. Kelly. Where did they get that from? It was Tiffany and Tanya. Tanya's her older sister, and her older sister had a baby first, I think, before she did. So I don't know where these people coming from. I told you when she got her money from R. Kelly, she got a settlement from R. Kelly. So I'm giving you all factual things. She got a settlement from R. Kelly. She signed an NDA, non-disclosure form. So I don't know how she was able to get around that to do the show. I'm quite sure something's gonna probably happen behind that. I don't know. That's their business. I could tell you though, I would believe Tiffany in this situation more than anything. When she said she brought her friends around him first, I believe that. Because that's what she did. She brought Sparkles and Pebbles. You brought them around him. And that's probably what happened to. If you watch this video, you already know that that's probably what happened. You brought them two over there. And I know how Sparkles was. Sparkle was wild at a very young age. She tried to sleep in my house. My grandma drove her home. She was like, "You can't sleep in my house." She was under my bed. She was trying to stay under my bed. My cousin was trying to keep her there. He was like, "No, let us spend the night." Because they were the same age. I'm like, Sparkle ain't can't stay over here overnight. She's like, "I can't. I can just sleep under the bed." She ain't want to go home. So her and Pebbles was the same type of way. So I'm quite sure if she was there, Sparkle was right there with you. Your running mate. Not the Sparkle, the singer. Not that Sparkle. No, not that. It's a whole nother girl named Sparkle. That's not her. No, 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 no. That's not her. Yeah, I forgot about that. I had to get that clarified. It wasn't that Sparkle at all. It was a whole nother girl named Sparkle. Pebbles and Sparkle was sisters. What is he talking about? What are you talking about, Kenwood Drive? You are confused as can be. Ben Simmons' sister, what about her? And what about Selena Gomez? What about Fergie? And what about Sparkle? What about him? You're not even making sense. Okay, you all over the place. Like I didn't want to date Sparkle at all. Sparkle was way too young for me. That's like they were their age. Back then, you thinking like right there, this is before 12 play was even out. R. Kelly didn't even, he was with public announcement at the time he met Tiffany. That was fact. So she was 14, 15, and she did not have kids. It's a video saying that she had a kid already or whatever. And I think they mixing two people up. It's all a lie. She did not have a kid. How do we know? LeBron ancestors probably did. Man, let's just go with these white dudes, man. See what they saying. They talking about 40 acres and a mule. That ain't bad. Let's go. You kidding? My thing is always been clear. I've always been the same way. I've been 100 about the whole situation. Listen, I don't. That's not my birthday, but thank you for trying, Kenwood, making me older than what I am. But my thing is this: that's a whole different sparkle. That's not the same sparkle. No, you guys are mixing. The singer Sparkle is a whole nother person than the Sparkle girl. That was her nickname, Sparkle. That wasn't her name. At least I don't think. But that girl was way lighter and way younger. Miss Hawkins. Now, what they're doing now, they're trying to go back and get him for other stuff he did in the past. They playing off double jeopardy. They're bringing things on him. They're using social media and things he's done in the past to punish him for things of today. When today he's following the rules, so he ain't really done nothing wrong. And you gave him a pass back then, and he went to court and all these old crimes. You bringing up all old stuff. 20, 30 years ago. Well, R. Kelly did this back then. It's like we know that. You didn't care then. Now you care. All right. I'm like, are you kidding? This ain't about guilty or innocence. It's about anybody can be. Remember the guy you tripped in grammar school? Look out. They might come get you. You was just a kid. We was just playing. Well, he didn't think you so. He was tormented by that when you tripped him in 8th grade and embarrassed him in front of all those kids. He grew up as a man not able to perform. He harmed his life. Your Honor, we're sinking charges. He was just a kid. He didn't know what he was doing. Well, it might have appeared that way, but now we can't be sure. Who is Javante? That's very vague. I know a Javante, but which Javante you talking about? Now, I don't know if her stepdad, she said her stepdad was abusive. I mean, Levi, he whooped some, he'll whoop some A, but I don't know if it wasn't deserved or whatever. He was just disciplined, you know. I just know that that's how Levi was. Levi was tough. He didn't want nobody in the house. I remember we ran out the window. We jumped out. We was out there hanging out at the house with her sister Tanya and everything, because she got an older sister, Tanya. And she was over there. She's like, y'all gonna have to go though if Levi come here. And we heard the door, somebody at the door. We broke out. Like, we thought it was Levi. We was poured out that house. We do not want to be there when Levi is there. No way. Mm-mm. No, she got the R. Kelly money, and like I said, they blew through that money. It was like two Hummers outside, not two Hummer, two Range Rovers. It was like Tiffany had two Range Rovers. And I'm like, is that two Range Rovers? What the heck is she doing? It's like 30 people hanging on her porch every day. I'm like, they finna go through that girl's money. That's a shame. Yeah, and that's how I looked at it. I saw her money just gone like that. I think she bought that house. She bought her mom's house with the money. She paid off the rest of that house, and the rest was just blown. From what I could see on the outside looking in. And I seen all these dudes hanging on her porch, when she had the money. And then when I ain't see them no more, I said, money must be gone. That's just normally how it happens in the hood. But I believe her 100%. Ever since I saw her get in that car and to that limo, when she said, R. Kelly is sending a limo for me, and I doubted her. She was 14, 15 years old, and he definitely should. A limo showed up, and she definitely got in it late at night. So let that sink in. Grove Heights, baby. Oh, this story is realer than you can ever imagine. I got 15 guys want to be my cameraman. Anyway, don't forget the Cash App is Carcino, man. That's how you keep me on. Oh yeah, my Patreon, we got the Ashante video up now. We got an exclusive Ashante story going on right now through the Patreon. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how long my Patreon gonna go before somebody shut that down. I think I'm gonna break all rules. People was like, "Can you believe what he just said?" That's already started already.